Hey there, YouTube. It doesn't get much better than this. It's February 15th and it is 14 degrees outside. Look at the sunshine. Jeez, beauty. It is only 3:46, so the sun hasn't set yet, but it is nice. So the topic today on Along for the Drive here on Along for the Ride is, doesn't everybody know how to use power tools? And the answer to that question is a big fat no. I gotta tell you, I've got 2 construction classes this semester and we're starting off and it is a ton of fun. Gotta say, I'm really enjoying sharing my expertise with the students. We just got into some tool introduction, right? And seeing them smile as they get to use these machines for the very first time. We're not even using like big machines. They are using a small circular saw, they're using an impact drill and a regular drill and some different drill bits, hammers and nails, and putting some screws in. Just a little 2x4 tool intro project. I'll show you a picture of it here as to what we're doing. And it just gets them playing with tools and getting comfortable in the shop, and allows me to see how they work in the shop and how safe they are with tools. Speed Square is another big tool that they're using. A lot of people don't realize how powerful Speed Square is, but it's got a ton of uses. And it's been a lot of fun, I got great students. I have 44 great students that I'm dealing with in 2 classes. But to see them smile and see them kind of look at a tool and not know really what to do with it and then learn, just unbelievable. My biggest entertainment, I guess, is we almost had a fire in the shop the other day. And can you believe that you can almost start a fire using a spade bit, a drill, and a piece of 2x4? Yes, that is true. We had so much smoke coming off this piece of 2x4 that I don't understand why the student didn't stop doing what he was doing, but he was giving it as much power as he could give it. He was putting pressure on it, hoping it was going to drill through, and did not realize that the drill was actually in reverse, and that's why it wasn't doing any cutting. So I stopped him for a minute and said, what seems to be the problem? And they were like, well, hey, I don't know, it worked well for that person, and now I'm trying and it's not working well. Because for some reason, a lot of people seem to think that you have to reverse the drill out of the hole. So you flip the switch and actually like reverse the direction it's spinning to pull the drill bit out of the hole. And you don't have to do that. If you leave it going forward and pull it out, it actually cleans the hole out a little better. But I guess these students are getting in the habit of putting it in reverse. Then when they set the drill down, they don't put it back in forward. So the next student picks it up and tries to use it and it's going in reverse. He's drilling, and it's creating all kinds of smoke. So I said, well, what if you flip the switch here and put it in forward and see if that helps? And he goes, put it in forward? Like, well, I think it's going in reverse. And now we've gone over the drills and we've gone over where the switches are and gone over what forward looks like and what reverse looks like. And they all kind of nod their head at you like, what are you, some kind of crazy teacher? Of course I know you got to be going forward, and of course you know it is reverse. But when they get in the shop, for some reason that little, obvious learning piece kind of disappears. So it was pretty funny. So we got it in forward and it cut a whole lot better. The bit's kind of, black and a little bit duller now, but thank goodness it was only just 2x4 material and spruce, nice and soft, because it had been a piece of hardwood. I'm sure the bit would be garbage. That was entertainment piece number 1. Entertainment piece number 2 was hole saw understanding. So what they had to do on this project was they had to drill a hole saw, use a hole saw to drill a hole through one of the pieces of 2x4. They actually nailed and screwed 2 pieces together. And so if you're familiar with a hole saw, it's something that will drill a hole through a piece of material if the material is thin enough. Typically after 2 inches or 1.5 inches, it doesn't, because the hole saw is solid on the back end. Well, another student, got the hole saw going, doing really good, kind of cutting through the material, and then gets, of course, to the bottom of it and continues to drill and can't figure out why we won't go any further. He's creating, I've never seen so much smoke with drill bits and 2x4s before, ever in my life. But he's drilling and can't seem to get it going any further, and it's spinning and spinning and spinning. So I let him watch for a bit, and then I'm like, hey, well, I think we need to hit stop on that. He goes, well, it won't go through. I'm like, well, it's through the one piece, but it's not gonna get through the second piece for sure. And I explained to him why it wasn't. Well, the piece of wood that came out from spinning one against the other piece of 2x4 was so black from spinning and creating heat. I think, again, we could have started a fire. If we had a little bit of sawdust on there, we would have had a nice little campfire going. So it's been really entertaining. Really interesting watching them swing a hammer for the first time and try and hammer in a 3.5-inch nail into a 2x4, and how they like to tap it, and don't realize that the more they tap it, the more they're going to bend the nail, versus if they were to hit it hard and give it a good swing, they would actually put the nail in a little bit better. We got different kinds of hammers as well, so they're allowed to try different hammers and that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I gotta tell you, I've definitely got a different crew this semester than I had last semester, and they seem to be really keen on learning and putting things together. So this has been a fun project and a fun week in the shop. But yeah, not everybody knows how to use a power tool. So if you're a power tool person and you got kids at home, by all means take the time to share with them how to use them, and take the time to show them how to use them properly. And I do it at a very young age. I figure, you know, I had another friend who was a hospitality teacher and, you know, taught his kids at home how to use knives properly at a very young age. And people used to sort of always cringe at that. And accidents happen, but if you teach them how to use the tool properly right off from the get-go, as long as they can handle the tool because of the weight or whatever, they'll be fine using it. And I've always kind of gone with that philosophy, and my kids have helped build the deck, helped build the house, get them involved in all that kind of stuff so that they know how to use a power tool and can do simple jobs at home. As much as they, you know, a lot of them discourage themselves or don't like using a hammer when they're hammering in nails because it's a lot of hard work for them because they don't know how to do it properly yet. Just getting going here. We also pulled out the framing nailer, the DeWalt framing nailer, which is a much bigger tool and of course has a little more oomph to it than a hammer does. And it's funny to watch the students who like to shy away from it and aren't really sure they want to be using that tool because of the weight and because of the power that's involved in it. And I just say it's a safe tool, just kind of set it up, we'll show you how it works, and you know, as long as you're doing it safely, it'll work fine. But when they hit that trigger and that thing bounces and that nail goes in, they're like, "Ooh, wow, okay." But definitely not something everybody wants to use, but definitely like to show it to them. So having lots of fun this week, and they're certainly learning lots of things. I love to see their smile when they do it correctly, or even don't do it correctly because it's the first time they've done it. And I hope that they're going to learn some very valuable skills that they can take with them as they move forward and use at home. So just wanted to share that with you this week. Really enjoying it, teaching it this semester, and not so discouraged about teaching construction. It's been a lot of fun, and I think we're going to get some really cool building projects done this year, so we'll share them with you as well. So thanks again for tuning in for Along for the Ride. Kind of a quick short one here. Enjoy the sunshine. I think we're going to have it for a bit here, and the warm weather. I've got my Can-Am jacket on here, but haven't pulled the bike out yet. I'm not quite ready to do that. It's sitting in the shop all nice and clean and waxed up for the spring, and I think we'll wait till the real spring shows up and get it out then. So take care, enjoy the week, and enjoy the sunshine. And as always, this is Greg Sinti saying, see ya.